Right, Joanna Cawley from Business in Vancouver is with us. Good morning.
Morning, Steve.
Talking about electronic arts, of course, we all know very well here in our city, and they apparently are going through some tough times because they laid some employees off.
Yeah, that's right. It came as a bit of a shock, I think, to the industry yesterday, even though there were 170 employees in the Montreal studios laid off earlier this month, and their CEO resigned earlier this month after poor results. But it was still a little bit of a shock yesterday that reportedly 2 of their Vancouver studios closed. There was quite a curt announcement on the EA website that simply said they were going to lay off some of its workforce and didn't say where or how many. But we found out, fortunately there's social media these days to fill in the blanks.
For sure, yeah.
So we found out from Twitter that 2 of the studios, PopCap and Quicklime, were both completely shut down, and all the employees there were laid off.
So, as you mentioned, it's a bit of a surprise because it would seem like people are still buying video games and still playing them. So what's behind all this, do you think?
Well, partly it's a cyclical industry.
Right.
But at the same time, electronic arts just hasn't been doing all that well, as we realized earlier this month when that stuff happened in Montreal.
Right.
So it seems that it's definitely part of a bigger company-wide restructuring. And what's interesting is that there's a PopCap studio in Seattle that hasn't been closed down. So it's not that those games are going to completely go out of existence. It's partly to do with perhaps a lack of confidence in Vancouver's ability to retain this kind of industry.
Right.
So it's a little bit worrying for the wider industry.
Yeah, that is worrying because, you know, the one thing we prided ourselves on were these sort of video game makers that were here, EA being one of the biggest, obviously, but there were others as well that were doing really well, and they were selling the games and the whole bit, and star athletes were coming here and the whole bit. It would seem like it was just thriving, but apparently maybe not the case. That's
been less so in recent times, and there's been a lot of sort of talent drain towards the east, which has been another worrying trend. It's been better here for smaller studios that are building themselves up. We do have a lot of good news as well for different types of gaming studios, more in the casual game space, the free-to-play mobile space. But when you close a place like, you know, sort of EA's having trouble, it's a bit of a problem for the wider industry. Yeah,
everyone has to take notice of that for sure.
That's right.
All right, well, thanks very much, Joanna. If you want some more information, BIV.com is the place to go. And you'll be talking about some NDP Labour pronouncements about small business coming up in your next report.
That's right.
All right, good stuff.